The quest for another 1950D key date nickel for the Series 2 album begins now. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure and welcome back to my channel. We have another 2-box nickel hunt in our quest to find that 1950D key date nickel for the Series 2 album. Now, as many of you know, and if you've been following along, it took us 167 boxes to find the first one for the Series 1 book, and now we're on boxes 113 and 114 for the Series 2 album. Obviously, we'd love to find the 50D before the 167th box to set a new personal best, but we have to find it in order to do that. Now, these 2 boxes come from 2 different bank branches in the same week. They have different stamps, but they are the ones with the holes in the bottom. I definitely have circulated nickels to hunt, which is a good thing. Obviously, I'll give you guys a look at the books at the end when we compare the finds to them to see if we have any upgrades or additions. I'd love to find the 50D or any of the 5 nickels needed for the side finds book, but I'll take war nickels that are made of 35% silver, buffalo nickels, V nickels, proofs, foreigns, varieties, you name it, anything fun for the collection. Let me slide these out of the way and see if I can open this box one-handed. We've struggled on these lately, but it feels like it might be okay. Maybe. All right. We definitely have a pretty damaged nickel here. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but that nickel would come into play. I don't see any war nickel or buffalo nickel enders, but I do see some older Jefferson designs, and that makes me happy. You guys know what's next. As soon as I have a find in this first box, I'll bring you in. Our first older Jefferson from the 40s comes in roll number 2, and it's a 1941 Denver. Roll number 4, another older Jefferson nickel, 1947 Philadelphia. Roll number 7, another 1947, San Francisco this time, slightly lower mintage. Same roll, yet another nickel from 1947, also from San Francisco. Roll number 8, 1941 Jefferson nickel from Philly. Same roll, another 1941 Philadelphia. We're on roll number 10, and this box is starting off pretty hot because we've got quite a few finds on the board already through the first 10 rolls. But take a look at this. We got a proof nickel, and this is the 2005 Bison. San Francisco minted 2005 Bison proof nickel. We'll definitely take that. Roll number 12 is going to give us a pretty beat up 1948 Philadelphia nickel. Same roll, and you might have noticed it in the last clip, but this nickel was reverse facing and it looked pretty bad, but I didn't think it was going to be what it is. There is no mint mark though, and I flipped it. And take a look at this, a 1950. No suspense on this one because it was reverse facing and I saw that it didn't have a mint mark, but just to make sure, we will scope it. Yeah, no mint mark, 1950. Unbelievable. Semi-key date nickel, we will definitely take it, but it's not the 50D, but that gives me hope. This box has been pretty hot so far. We have a lot of finds, and man, why couldn't this have been in the middle of the roll and give me some suspense? Either way, a 1950 nickel, we don't find them very often. That was close, and it looks similar to that 1948 we found earlier. All right, let's get back to the hunt. Roll number 15. A 1949 nickel, and this one is from Denver, so we'll check it for that D over S, which I don't see. 1949D is pretty significant though, because now we have 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, and 53. Plus all the other finds, it makes it feel like we might have possibly someone's album dump in this box. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get back to the hunt, but that's a great start so far. Roll number 17, and we have found our oldest Jefferson nickel of the hunt. Take a look at this. And that's a pretty nice toned 1938 that looks like it might have been in an album. 1938, is it a key date? It is not. 1938, Philadelphia. Still a beauty, could be an updater. Oldest find of the hunt so far. Roll 21, Another 1941. Minted in Philadelphia again. Roll number 22 is going to give us another 1948 nickel from Denver. Roll number 23, another 1948. Will it be the San Francisco semi-key this time? No. 1948 Denver again. Roll number 24, a nickel from 1947. And that one's a Denver. I believe we have all three from 1947 now. Roll number 26, our first nickel from 1940. 1940, Philly. We're on roll number 28, and I'm pretty positive that we've got a silver war nickel right there, that greenish toned edge. Let's take a look together. And we do, because it definitely has a mint mark above the Monticello building. That's a circulated Philadelphia minted 1944. We'll take it. First silver of the box. Roll 29, another 1941 Jefferson nickel from San Francisco this time. Roll number 30, we have our first nickel from 1946. 46, Philadelphia. Roll number 35 is going to give me one of my favorite finds to find during a nickel hunt. We've got a Buffalo nickel right there. Looks pretty slick. It's very slick. Let's see if it has a mint mark. And it does. And that looks like an S mint mark. That looks like an S mint mark. And I don't think I'm going to get a date on that without nickel-dating it, of course, and I don't want to have to do that. Let me spend a few minutes on this. It's got to be an older one based on the circulation where it's heavily scratched, as you can see. So it's going to have minimal value even if I had a date. But let me see if I can find a date or nickel-date it and bring you guys back in. All right, I had to use nickel-date, and luckily we did get a date. You guys probably can see it. It's going to be a 1918. 1918, San Francisco, and that is a slightly better Buffalo date for the Buffalo nickels. It's like $15 or so in G4. This would have been about good, $3, but now that it's been nickel-dated, it's probably worth $1 in this condition at best. But I had to find out. It's not one I need, but definitely a 1918 San Francisco. We'll take it. We've got a Buffalo nickel, a war nickel, a semi-key date, a first-year nickel, and a proof to go along with a lot of other finds. 15 rolls left, plus this one. Same roll, and we have another tougher date, 1942. Now, they did make silver nickels in 1942, but this one doesn't look like it's going to be a silver nickel, probably just a regular nickel. But 1942, Philadelphia. Had it been the Denver, we could check for the D over horizontal D, and the Denver is a better date, but 1942 is pretty common. I just don't see them very often. Could be an upgrade, though. Not a bad find. Roll 41 is going to give us a couple of finds, and one of them is another Buffalo nickel. And I believe I see a date on that one. 1915 is what it looks like. 1915, if it's an S, like the last one, that's a better, oh, that might be no, it's a 15. I think. Could be a 16. I'll have to double check. And it does have a mint mark. Is that a Denver? That is a Denver mint mark. And that's 1915 Denver. 1915 Denver. Slightly better date. Not in the best condition with all the gunk on it, but not in that bad a condition either. Two Buffalo nickels, both in the teens with mint marks. Man. I'm going to see if I could make this one look a little bit better for you guys. Give me 1 second. All right, I gave it a little bit of a wipe down with a lint-free cloth just to see if I could take any of the loose stuff off. And it does look a little better. Does have a decent horn, but definitely looks like a dug example. Looks like it's been interacting with some soil or minerals for a while. But either way, it's not a bad looking 1915 Denver Buffalo nickel in the hunt. We'll take it, add it to the board. Oh, I almost forgot. We had a second find, a 1946, also in decent shape. And that's a 46S. Not a key date or a semi-key date, but definitely also a better date nickel. We'll take that. Could be an upgrader. Just grabbed roll 44 out of the box, flipped it around, and we have a 1940 ender. Let's see what mint it's from. Well, we just splashed out the roll, and that's the 40 ender. And take a look back here. Another buffalo nickel. Let's see what mint this 40 is from. Pretty beat up for sure, being an end coin. 1940 Philadelphia. And do we have another old buffalo in the box? No mint mark on this one. Decent detail. 1936. Not old this time, but 3 buffalo nickels in a box hasn't happened in a long time for me. Same roll, and these 2 coins sandwiched that buffalo nickel. A 1948 Philadelphia. And of course, since I have you here, a 1957 Denver. Roll 48 of this great box is going to give us another nickel from 1949. This one, a 1949S. Let me just double check that. Yes, it is. 1949S is a semi-key date, and that makes the second semi-key date of the box. And now that we're running out of rolls, I'm wondering if we may have not got the full album dump or collection dump in this box, and that's a different stamp from a different bank. Let's get back to the hunt. Well, box 1 is done. There are 36 finds on the board. A lot of years and mints represented. No 56, 55, or 54. And no war nickels other than a 44. But we got a proof, a 38, a 44p, 3 buffalo nickels, a 49S semi-key date, and a 1950 Philadelphia semi-key date as well. Man. Oh, and on top of that, we did find 6 really nice 1963 Denver uncirculated nickels. None of them have full steps, unfortunately. Box 1 was a dandy. Box 2 was picked up from a bank not far away, but it has a different stamp, but hopefully it's the same sorting facility, although they look different. Let me go ahead and slide that over. We'll do a live box opening next and see if we have any good enders. All right, I went ahead and cut it because based on the glue here, I could tell this is going to be a tough one to open live, so I just cut the front of it. We'll go ahead and pop it now. And let's take a look. We definitely have another one of those discolored nickels, but no fancy enders. Let's see if we can find that 50D, some better dates, more buffalo nickels, or maybe some more silver in box number 2. Roll 2 of box number 2 is going to kick us off with our first foreign find of the hunt, and this is going to be a Mexican peso, 2002. Roll number 7 of box number 2 is going to give us our first 40s find, a 1940 Philadelphia. And while I have you here, I just pulled out this nice 1978 Denver, and I took a look at it, and even though it has a couple of dings, it does have full steps. Of course, it's not a grader, but maybe an upgrader for the book. Just wanted to point that out. Pretty nice find. Looks like it came straight from an uncirculated set. Roll 16 of box 2, a 1941 nickel in pretty decent shape. 41 Philadelphia. Roll number 69 of the 100 roll hunt, and we've got another nickel from 1946. 46 Philadelphia. Roll number 76, another 1948 nickel in decent shape from Philadelphia. We're on roll number 86, and box 2 has been a tough box, but what are you going to do with a great box to start with? That being said, I do have another find, a 1940 Philly for the board. Roll number 91, another 1940, minted in Philly. Well, this second box has been tough until now. We're on roll 46 of box 2, or 96 of the hunt, and I was sliding down the coins hunting the roll, and we've got another buffalo nickel and another one with an S mint mark. Unbelievable. Buffalo nickel number 4 for the 2 boxes. And that's a pretty nice buffalo nickel with good detail and a full horn. San Francisco minted, 1936. We'll take it. Common date, but it looks good. 4 buffalo nickels, no silver yet in this box. Only 4 rolls left. Roll number 97 will add another 1949 nickel to the board. 49 Denver. May as well check for that D over S, which it is not. Well, we finished that second box, and while it was definitely not as nice as the first box, it ended up being a decent box with 19 more finds, and that makes 55 total finds on the board. Now, I've already put away the nice 63Ds. They did not upgrade the book. I took a quick peek at that just to put them away into some rolls. That being said, the best finds were the Mexican peso, the proof, the 1938, the 1942, the 4 Buffalo nickels, the 44p silver war nickel, and the 2 semi-key dates, 49S and 50p. 50p, not the 50D. I don't think we have any additions to any of the albums, but maybe we have some upgrades. Let me comb through all these finds, compare them to the books, and I'll be back with a look at the books and some final thoughts on the hunt in just a second. We have compared all the finds to both albums, and despite the sheer number of finds, we didn't have any upgrades or additions to the Series 2 book. Of course, we didn't find the 50D either. For the Series 3 Side Finds book, no additions, but 4 upgrades. The 41S, 46S, 47S, and 49S in today's hunt was definitely good upgrades. There's the 41S, there's the 46S, here's the 47S, and then of course, the 49S. Slightly better upgrades, I'll take that. So now, after 114 boxes, just missing the 50D. After 49 boxes for Series 3, still missing those 5 tough dates. 38D, 38S, 39S, the 43D tough date war nickel, and the 50D, of course. On top of that, I am still on the hunt for better war nickels for the Series 2 book, because even though it only needs the 50D, we have some uglies in here, but we got to find them to replace them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 2-box hunt. I know I did. Anytime you can score some silver for the silver jar, a couple of semi-key date nickels, and 4 buffaloes, can't get mad at that. If you did, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching. It's just 1 silver coin, but the silver jar loves silver snacks.